Good evening, family. Welcome to Military Strategies. We are live right now, December 27, 2025. A gigantic air fleet has arrived in the Caribbean Sea in the last 24 hours. To the waters of the Corsair Drake, to the waters of the pirates, now to the waters of the United States and the most powerful navy on this planet. Tonight, here on Military Strategies, all the details, what's happening, what's going on, and whether there will really be an attack or not against Nicolas Maduro and the Cartel of the Suns. Family, your likes, your comments. Venezuela will be free. Strategies, it will be part of history and you will be part of it. Let's begin. Very good evening.
Family, we are here now. We've arrived. We've arrived with the whole crew. Great song, huh? It's awesome. The song we've chosen for this intro is just amazing. It's amazing what's happening, what's going on. No, war, peace, peace. But I think Nicolas Maduro has a problem. Actually, more than a problem, many problems. And one of them is called the United States Navy. The Air Force, the Army, and everyone surrounding him. A lot of things have been happening lately in Venezuela. A tense calm and radio silence. But yesterday, some things were leaked. So I'm going to share them here live with you on Military Strategies. Family, thank you so much for being live with us one more day, for putting up with us. In this story that's already lasting too long, I admit it too, okay? Venezuela's situation with Nicolas Maduro has dragged on too long. But there's also something we need to understand, and I want to emphasize this. Donald Trump said it's not just about Venezuela. We're not just targeting the bad guys in Venezuela. We'll search for them in other places too. And we're also talking about bringing down 26 years of dictatorship between the Chavistas and the Maduristas. It's not easy, you know? It's not easy, but yes, things have happened in the last 24 hours. I'm not exaggerating. You'll see it now. I'm seeing comments here. I'm not exaggerating in any way. I'm not going to say I'm an expert on these topics, but I have a channel called Military Strategies, which talks about military matters. And what do you want me to say? I've never seen anything like what we're seeing in the Caribbean Sea, except when a war was declared in Iraq and Afghanistan, and it almost broke out in Iran. I'm just saying it as clearly as that. The material that has been sent, everything that has been sent, is too much money spent just to chase oil tankers around a sea that's like a bathtub. We don't need to send everything that's been sent. Tonight, we'll review it and assess. Because it's scary. Good. First of all, super important. I don't have many videos today, but I do have another topic about China that I want to show you, an image. The war of the future is here. Drones. And ships. Pay attention to this photograph. This is a civilian ship loaded with containers, but it has radars, it has military radars, and inside the containers it carries missile launchers. A civilian ship? Picture a 333-meter oil tanker carrying containers on its deck, like what you're seeing here, a kind of Death Star firing missiles everywhere. It has also been leaked that China, within its military exercise simulations, and this whole story is an inevitable future war between the United States and China. It proposes military actions in the Caribbean Sea, Gulf of America, Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of New Spain, and Northern Gulf. I already mentioned all the Gulfs. every name they've had because later people send me emails to tell me strategies.
Don't say Gulf of America.
That's it. I've said it all. Gulf of the North, Gulf of New Spain, Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America. Happy now? Well, an image has leaked of naval combat simulation exercises between the United States and China, carried out by China, obviously attacking the southern coast of the United States of America in the Gulf. As mentioned, I won't repeat it. All right. Yesterday, a plane arrived that had traveled quickly to Iran, came back, loaded up, and went straight back to Venezuela. Did they give Maduro a gift? It obviously wouldn't be Iberian ham because in Tehran, they don't officially consume that kind of thing. Unofficially, who knows what the Ayatollah eats? But here the issue is something else. And this is what's going to blow your mind. This is the number of planes that are arriving right now in Puerto Rico. It's massive. In the last few hours, it wasn't just arriving in Puerto Rico. At MacDill Base, which we're going to see now on satellite. We left the African lands. Now we're heading to the Caribbean lands. At MacDill in Tampa. Up here we are at this base. I'm serious about that. The other day we posted a photo showing over 15, maybe even 27 tankers. 27 aerial refueling planes just at MacDill. In Puerto Rico, more than 10, I think they're already up to 12. The number is staggering. It's scary. I mean it. The striking capability that the United States has deployed there right now. This terror. The F-35. As that have already arrived, all of them, all the ones that were supposed to arrive, have already arrived in Ceiba. Sorry, to Ceiba, since we're here, I get confused. Here at Roosevelt Road, they've already arrived here. But look, what's the magnitude of the situation right now? To those who claim nothing will happen, and it's just smoke. Smoke that's been raised. And now you'll see where... At the Ceiba base, I'm going to show you the photographs. Look, it's not that now the United States Navy or the United States Army have turned back. Farmers are clearing all the plots around the base to install more military facilities, probably tents or portable buildings, for everything that's coming. If someone says or thinks this is staged, I think they need to turn off YouTube.
Oop.
Go climb a very tall mountain and live the experience of their life. It's just amazing. I'll put the image back up. They're clearing out. I mean, removing everything. Expanding the base because there's just no more room. There's no space. Literally. Look at these images too. Of everything that's piling up there. Of everything that's arriving. It's an overwhelming force. I'm completely serious. Something is going to happen here. I'm not sure if Nicolas Maduro will leave peacefully by force or under worse circumstances. That he's leaving, he's leaving. That he's leaving, he's leaving. Because there's no room for more. By the way, there's something else the Marines are training for. Marine Corps Unit 22 is training in something very, very interesting. War has changed. Attention, chavistas. Especially those using binoculars to spot planes. Be careful if you see one of these things, since it might be the last thing you see. It's a small device that buzzes like a giant mosquito.
Gigante.
You don't know its location or source, but it's going to hunt you down. The Marines are training in the use of first-person attack drones
¿Qué?
in Puerto Rico. They're not doing it on the border with Alaska. They're testing it there. We realize that, right? We're leaving with the map. It's amazing, isn't it? Right now, according to intelligence reports, while waiting for the F-15S, which are already being discussed, its name. In the rumor mills of the Pentagon. Dominican Republic, more than 12 tankers, San Croix Island. Another undetermined number of tankers, E-3 Sentry M planes. Puerto Rico. And Tampa, Florida, more than in Puerto Rico, Reaper drones, F-35A and Bain, Harrier planes. And lots of ammunition, lots and lots more ammunition. Zones. South of Miami, Miami, baby.
Baby.
Homestead. On this base, it's rumored or said that the F-35S will pass through there. Some will stay and others will go to Puerto Rico. And now the question is the United States going to launch something unthinkable? And what is the unthinkable? The United States has been gathering information from the entire coast of Mexico for days.
Go.
The cartel? The cartels? Right now? Thinking if Maduro's thing is just one part or if there's something more. Careful, because Donald Trump can mess things up, but in a big way. Imagine at the same time attacks against the cartels in Mexico, cartels in Colombia, cartels in Venezuela. Donald Trump has said it again. Soon we're going to start by land and it's going to be much easier. With the strength he has accumulated, it's enough for 4 Venezuelas. And the F-15S are still yet to arrive. And it's that they haven't arrived yet. Since naturally, if these tankers were going there, what were they doing and looking for?
No.
Look at the photo. The photo is just sublime. Why do you send 4 E-3 Sentry planes? I mean, 2 that were already there and 2 more that have just arrived. What for? People saying nothing's happening, nothing's going on? Well, the day something does happen, you'll come here and talk about it. There's the picture. Both sentries, bottom right, white color, the rest are the Pegasus to give them water. And these gentlemen, this isn't normal. This isn't something usual. No, you don't send, I insist, with this, you don't send everything that's being sent right now just to try to scare Nicolas Maduro. It's not like that. Things don't work that way. A very, very powerful military force is being sent. Either Maduro leaves before this blows up, or this is going to blow up. And when it blows up, there's no turning back. There won't be any turning back. Maduro has spent the past few days laughing, joking, and wandering around. Great, fantastic. They can't extract oil. Look at the ridiculous thing you're about to see now. At this rate, Diosdado, let me say something, Diosd. If you keep going, bringing the oil tankers close to the beach, you're going to have to take them out of the water and transport them by land. Don't laugh, don't laugh. This is serious. This is serious. Look at this oil tanker, the Hyperion. This one we were talking about, they're going to take it, they're going to take it, they're really going to take it. Please look at this. A little more. And because you haven't seen the other part, because the other part is awesome. Since he left Punta Cardon from the Gulf of Coro, from this area here, the Gulf of Venezuela, did he really stick close to the coast, seriously? Right along the coast? I think they were dredging some beach or another. It must have caused a tsunami when that big creature passed by there. He went all along this part of the coast to avoid entering international waters. The Hyperion, and now he's reached Petro's territory. He'll say, well, I'll stay here in Cartagena for a couple of days. Let's see if the United States of America ignores me. They forget about me and stop looking for me. And can I keep heading to China to sell the oil? Literally, it's just great. It's not that it's good. It can't be. Maduro realizes he can't handle this, and they'll make it hard for him. This one, for example, is from Chevron. The only ones who can come and go freely from there are the people from Chevron. The others have to do it. Sticking close to the coast, man, if Nicolas Maduro tries to get to China by hugging the coast, well, I don't know when they're going to get there. Not even Jules Verne. Not even Jules Verne could write a novel like What's Happening in Venezuela. But also, look, today there are more. The day before yesterday, there weren't that many. Today, a few more have shown up. It seems like they've turned on the transponder. Nicolas Maduro faces another problem. Another one. His figure is no longer that relevant. Within the criminal organization, he's not relevant. That's it. They no longer count on him. They don't count on him in Cuba. The Gulf Cartel doesn't count on him either. There's a real problem here. I'd like to clarify a recent issue. The BAT-91 plane has crossed Venezuelan airspace. That's not true. That's not true. Although it has been seen that this plane had gone up along the coastal area of Colombia, it had crossed a part of Colombia. It went into Venezuela, it passed through Punta Cardon. Unrelated to it, that's spoofing, likely done intentionally to scare those people. And that's about it. This plane, the BAT-91, which is a Canadash 8200, doesn't have electronic warfare capability to get into a mess like that. And that they shoot it down anyway. If I had wanted to, I would have gone in. Because if they shoot it down, they know what's going to happen. This is also another important topic. Who shoots first? If a United States plane enters, it doesn't have to be an F-35, just a small plane. With the United States flag enters there. If they shoot it down, chaos will follow, like final judgment. So Nicolas Maduro really says, well, yeah, let's see, we can't do anything. Then we have the issue of the fleet heading to La Horchila, 160 kilometers away. That's also there. That's also there. Family, I want to see your comments. We also have the super chats open so we can discuss all the details of this operation. If you have any questions or comments, you can put them here and we can talk about them. I'm open to any debate about whether they're going to attack or not. I don't know when the date is. That's also true. But that it's going to happen. It's going to happen. What has Nicolas Maduro done? Well, he thinks he's a magnanimous person and a great emperor. He has released a few prisoners, at least 60. Well, prisoners. Who shouldn't be in prison. That is, has released kidnapped people. Yes, Diosdado, God can get heated, but lately he hasn't taken me out. God, you make me sad. You took me out once, but after that rain, you haven't taken me out again. Because you say, but with Galician, no. With the Galician, I don't get involved because then he starts showing the videos where I make a fool of myself, claiming my radars are unbeatable and will shoot down any plane. Then just walking around there, probably not a good idea. Or when he claims they'll protect the oil tankers, but we see they don't. Well, yes, I admit that. I admit it's dense, black, with even more black smoke. Well, they say at 25. In the early morning of December 25th, they released 60 kidnapped people from Takaran prison to give water. The chrysalids. Well, in Tocaron, Eduard Ramirez, Luis Perozo, Daniela Casio, Andrew Morales, and Fran Revilla were released. And in Las Crisalidas, Maria Elba Delgado was released in La Guaira. Teenagers. It's the prison. Daniel Abraham Rivero, Angel Gabriel Gonzalez, Luis Nader, Angel Zúñiga, and others we don't have. That we don't have. Last night we talked and said, the church's role in this story today isn't specifically for Christianity, nor are we focused on them. We're really happy about what happened in Nigeria because it's important, but now we have to look at another topic. The church has officially issued a statement. The Venezuelan church has issued a statement to talk specifically about the situation. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it, and you won't believe this. Official statement from the Venezuelan Episcopal Conference. Christmas 2025 message.
25.
Ready. Glory to God in the highest, and peace on earth to those of good will. 1. Close to the celebration of the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ the Savior. As shepherds of God's people, we want to echo the proclamation of the angels on that first night. Glory to God in the highest, and on earth, peace to men of good will. With this, we acknowledge the loving presence of God among the Venezuelan people. And we wish that peace, the precise fruit of the action of the Holy Spirit, becomes a reality in each of our homes and throughout society. We do this with the conviction that the vast majority of the Venezuelan people, both inside and outside our borders, we are people of faith, hardworking and supportive. We aspire to live in peace. We are people of peace. First part, what? Half, what? 2? This desire now serves as both a prayer and a lived experience of peace and brotherhood. In the celebrations of masses and Christmas carols, in reuniting and sharing with family and friends, in the festive atmosphere, in visits to homes and institutions, for the traditional parandas and the blessing of the nativity scenes, Christmas is a celebration to proclaim and live peace. That is why we do not hesitate to sing, the Redeemer was born, he was born. He was born to give man peace. Peace, peace, happiness, happiness, and peace. Unfortunately, pay attention to this. This is where the topic comes in. This is already funny. You need to read this. You have to read this so people can understand. That's it. Yeshua was not Palestinian, but Jewish, and these people are a mafia. Unfortunately, this joyful experience is now overshadowed by repeated and sometimes contradictory reports of military actions near our shores. The loss of life is regrettable, as is the presence of foreign military power in international waters of the Caribbean Sea. I'm going to enlarge it so that those of you who have vision problems can see it clearly, because this is just crazy. I just can't believe it. The presence of foreign military power in international waters of the Caribbean Sea. The predominance of a speculative narrative where opinion comes before reality, occupying the public space with debates about events that haven't happened. Is the church saying that the Souls Cartel is not an accomplished fact? That human rights violations are not an accomplished fact? That the forced disappearances by the regime are not an accomplished fact? And that the poverty in Venezuela is not an accomplished fact? Catholic Church. Vatican. Vatican Bank. Opaque accounts. All right. The verbal violence and the prevailing disqualification in our political dynamics, the deprivation of freedom for thinking differently politically, both for national and foreign citizens, the widespread impoverishment of the population suffering from rampant inflation, a disorganized economy, the confiscation of our natural resources and the imposition of new economic sanctions, the discrimination and criminalization of migrants. All these realities generate anxiety and distress in the majority of the population, who see their peace and tranquility shattered during such a special time as December. Did the church actually write this? I briefly thought they meant Nicolas Maduro. No. The confiscation of our natural resources. Look, I didn't want to get into this topic, but now I'm really sorry. God forgive me for what I'm about to say. Has the church ever considered selling all its riches to end the poverty in the world? Selling all its properties, estates, palaces, gold, silver, and things it has taken from other places on the planet to end poverty. Maybe it would be a good way to start being more Christian. If we talk about Jesus, who slept under an olive tree and preached in the middle of the field, and wore sandals, maybe we don't need so much to get closer to God. I dislike this debate. It really burns me out, so I always try to hide it. But that's enough. That's enough. How dare they talk? About what? Because there's a fleet in the Caribbean Sea? Well, and wait, what it says here, wait, it was really good. Warlike actions near our coasts with regrettable loss of life. Does the church know what those fishermen are transporting?
Please.
Each boat kills 20,000 parishioners, 20,000 souls of God?
¿Han pensado?
Have you thought about what? Every boat that the United States sinks is saving thousands of lives. This is tremendous. I mean, sometimes I just stay quiet and I feel embarrassed for others. As someone who grew up in this story, I feel embarrassed, really embarrassed, honestly. If I were Donald Trump, I would call the Vatican ambassador in for consultations to ask him, what are you doing? What is happening in the church? What is going on? What is happening in the church's bank? What's more, they should start declassifying documents from the Vatican. They should start doing this kind of investigations, and if not, I think we're going to start getting into that topic because it's better to keep quiet and look the other way before saying what you're saying. Rampant inflation and a chaotic economy are hurting the population, and the United States is to blame. It's the fault of the United States that Nicolas Maduro sells oil without declaring it to keep the money. It's the fault of the United States. Verbal violence. A guy who goes out threatening the life of Maria Corina Machado, threatening the lives of YouTubers, a guy who appears on television with a machete. What has the church become? To me, it seems like when Jesus entered the temple in, have you really converted? For how many coins have you converted into this? It's very sad. This is very, very sad and also very dangerous. Very dangerous. They're not where they're supposed to be, and they get involved in things they shouldn't get involved in. Shall we continue, huh? People often discuss peace but rarely practice it. Or its meaning is changed. Some people think it's impossible to achieve and propose other ways, with the risk of generating violence and injustices that make the people suffer. The Episcopal Conference belongs to the Catholic Church. Maybe I'm missing something here, forgive me. The Episcopal Conference belongs to the Vatican. I'm telling you, you're here calling this the Episcopal Conference like it's just some club of friends. Look, we'll look it up.
Come on!
Let's look for it. Who does the Episcopal Conference belong to? Let's see it. The Episcopal Conference isn't owned by any person or private group. It's a collegial body of the Catholic Church. Look, stop saying nonsense in the chat about them not being Catholic. This is the Vatican. This is the Vatican. It belongs to the Catholic Church and is part of its structure. It is chosen and recognized by the Holy See of the Vatican in canon law. You are there writing some... That cannot be justified, that you don't want to whitewash it? That there's a problem in the church? And it's not bad. And it has nothing to do with each person's spiritual faith. It has nothing to do with it. They have taken control of faith. They have hijacked faith. And they are doing business with faith. And that's how things are. That's it. And nothing happens. Just for saying it, nothing happens. You're not less of a Christian because of that. All right, let's continue after this interruption. Some people think it's impossible to achieve and propose other ways, with the risk of causing violence and injustices that make the people suffer. 26 years of Chavismo and Castrismo. Well, the Castros in Cuba have been around longer. May Christmas be a special occasion for us through our Christian faith and gospel values to reaffirm the importance of peace. Can you write a letter to tell Nicolas Maduro to release all the political prisoners? Do you dare to write a letter tomorrow? Aren't you cowards? True peace, the kind from God that Christmas proclaims. It places the dignity of the human person and the common good above individual, ideological, and partisan interests. With these values, they are affected. It becomes necessary to unite. This brought us together. This is tyranny. We raise our voices to demand peace, but a peace that is unarmed and disarming. Leon 14. It is not achieved through violence, but through the humility of dialogue. What dialogue? The one about the elections. The one where the ballots disappear and then it doesn't work. What dialogue? What do you mean? Is he a tyrant? Well then, if you don't want violence and you don't want any of that, why don't you take the Swiss Guard and send them all back to Switzerland? Why don't you disarm us too? Why do you ride in an armored car? Why do you have bodyguards? I'm asking, isn't it that if we get to that level, I'm just asking. Respect others and consistently reject the ongoing lies often found in political and economic systems. Oh, so it's a lie that Nicolas Maduro isn't a dictator. All right, very well. In this sense, we must affirm that peace is built day by day, and restoring God's intended order, bringing greater justice among men. St. Paul 6. Because a peace that does not arise as the fruit of integral development and social inclusion, that does not inspire the enforcement and respect of human, civil, and democratic rights. It does not guarantee its permanence over time and will always be the seat of new conflicts and various forms of violence. Democracy in Venezuela. Human rights in Venezuela. Does the church discuss human rights in Venezuela? Very well. Achieve peace and build an environment that favors its growth. We can only do it if each of us takes responsibility as a citizen, and if the institutions called to serve the people, mainly the state, truly fulfill their mission. It is necessary to abandon unrealistic solutions and approaches that do not take everyone into account. Hoping this Christmas brings personal and social growth, we entrust all Venezuelans' lives to the Blessed Virgin Mary and Saint Joseph. Wishing everyone a joyful and blessed Christmas. December 23, 2025, the Bishops of Venezuela. And how do you feel about that? And how do you feel? Huh? Look, there's a message here from a pain in the neck. Please hide it. And the one who's writing that Trump won't attack because he's afraid of Putin. Please hide it. Isn't it enough already? How does that make you feel? After reading such a letter from the Vatican? First, that it is unfortunate. Second, that it is biased. Third, that it tells lies. And fourth, that it is not realistic about the reality of the people of Venezuela. It isn't. It isn't. It's that simple. The only way for the people of Venezuela to save themselves from Nicolas Maduro is through military means. Unfortunately. Otherwise, they won't leave and the tyrant will remain. Torturing his people. Unfortunately, that's how it is. That's just how it is.
What's happening? What's going on? This? One second.
I could explain this here very well. It's Eric Frateni, whom we've invited to the show several times, but he hasn't come or couldn't come, or I'm not sure why. There is no reliable evidence that Venezuela or the Venezuelan government and Cabello or others have accounts in the so-called Vatican Bank, Institute for the Works of Religion, with their own money or hidden deposits. But in several cases that circulated in 2019, it was claimed that Nicolas Maduro and other figures had accounts with large sums of money in the Vatican Bank. The Vatican expressly denied that this was true and stated that those lists and documents were fake, and that none of those people have had or currently have an account there.
Very well.
In recent reports, dozens of transactions within the bank have been identified as suspicious, and some accounts or transactions have been blocked and investigated. But this clearly doesn't mean they're connected to Venezuela.
No.
In previous years, there were investigations into investments linked to funds managed by the Holy See, which were related to banks investigated in cases connected to Petróleos de Venezuela, Sociedad Anónima, the Venezuelan oil company, regarding money laundering investigations in Switzerland and the United States. But this does not prove that the Vatican had accounts with the government, Venezuelan leaders. There is no verifiable evidence. Obviously, all that's left is to see oil tankers with the Vatican flag. That would be something. Let's add a little humor to this. Let's give it a bit of humor, because honestly, it's truly crazy. It's a mockery. It's a mockery of humanity. I keep insisting, every day it feels like they think we're stupid or getting even more stupid, but I just don't know. Jesus, thank you so much for your super chat. Don't worry, Jesus, your super chat won't go to the Vatican Bank. Thank you. No need to worry, we have no Vatican Bank accounts. Jesus, thank you very much, Anna. This statement might be manipulated, Anna, but I don't think it's manipulated, thank you. I don't think it is, thank you. Pope Francisco blessed Maduro. There's the photo. It's disgusting. It's true. Also, Kabita. It's true, right? Veronica, thank you so much for that super chat. Ana Paz, dignity. That's something the Maduro regime also stole from Venezuelans. Thank you. That letter can't contradict. Message from the Pope. Right? They're just words. The messenger Jesus. Thank you very much. Really, I laugh. Forgive me for laughing. There's nothing funny about this, but you just have to laugh. I'm not surprised. The previous pope also visited them. Francisco funded Kirchnerism, which holds money in the Vatican Bank. Oh my God. Well, officially, the Vatican Bank has a debt. Officially, they have a debt of a couple of million euros there because they don't want to pay. It makes them look poor.
We don't.
Says Michelusi. This channel is terrible, and I once really liked it. I don't understand why you have to go after the Catholic Church like that. Look, Mika, I'm not going after the Catholic Church. May everyone attending church be blessed, and seeking closeness to God is always good. What I'm talking about is the drift, and the direction the Catholic Church is taking from the Vatican, supporting dictatorships, taking the side of terrorists. They do it in Gaza and they do it in Venezuela. And if you don't like it and don't want to see the reality, do you want to hide it? It's fine. Just click exit and nothing happens. I'm not going to say things just to make people stay here and listen to this. I'm not going to sell content to get more followers and make everyone happy and make everyone laugh. I have to tell the reality of what's happening. And what's happening is that an institution like the Vatican, which represents millions of believers around the world, is whitewashing a tyrant dictator in Venezuela. If you or anyone else doesn't like it, I'm sorry. But I'm not going to change my stance even a millimeter on something that's very clear, just because there are people who feel offended. With all due respect to evangelicals, Christians, Buddhists, Illuminati, I don't care. But the reality is this. Are we whitewashing a guy who has people locked up in dungeons here? That's enough. That's enough. That's enough with the jokes. I used to like this channel. Now why? Because we criticize something that's true. When something needs to be criticized, you criticize it. If you don't criticize it, nothing changes. The Vatican must realize it needs to distance itself from such figures, as associating with them drives believers away from the church. And that's what's happening to it worldwide. That's why people lose trust, lose faith in the church, because of these kinds of things, among other scandals. There are quite a few. That's enough already. It's fine and it doesn't matter. Even if we were left with just 10 people, with 5, with 2, it doesn't matter. This channel started with 4 people. It doesn't matter. The message is the same. Okay. That if they're hiding the fact that Jesus was Palestinian, that they're whitewashing what's happening in Gaza, Father Romanelli saying that they had bombed his church. And then we found out what had really happened. We did some serious work here, reconstructing the images frame by frame of what had happened. There. They paraded Romanelli around Gaza with a bandage on his leg, saying he had been wounded in the leg, and then Romanelli is walking everywhere. They should be thankful the Israel Defense Forces hasn't gone in and checked under the church, because we'd be surprised. There were actually tunnels in the Christian cemetery. But there is Romanelli every day from Gaza making his videos. They were there the other day having dinner, stuffing their mouths with food. The church representative with Maduro sitting next to him, and the people had nothing to eat. These are images you have to be careful with, that you have to avoid. That's how clear and simple it is. I'm sorry. If someone can't see that, then they have a problem. They have a problem. I know it's hard. It's really hard to accept this. It's very hard to accept that there are organizations at the international level that defend this. It's like the issue of Christians in Nigeria. Hey, could the Pope have put more pressure to ask for a military intervention, for protection, or for peacekeeping? I don't know. It's just that either we live in a world we're not aware of, but by carrying an olive branch and the Bible in hand, these people laugh at you and keep doing what they do. Unfortunately, they have lost their values. They have lost respect. They have lost everything, and since they have lost it, they are not going to get it back. There's only one way, and that way is known by Donald Trump. Yes, peace over strength. Some time ago, look, now you'll see. It's just that now I'm remembering. Some time ago, the envoy of the church to Venezuela opposed it. Nicolas Maduro and Diosdado Cabello made his life impossible and even threatened to put him in jail. Did he have to leave? When you become inconvenient, they campaign against, harass, and jail you. That's what they do. Not everyone is the same. Not everyone is the same. This isn't anti-Catholic, okay? Careful, the other day there was an evangelical pastor there. Or did the evangelical community's representatives see him? I don't know what story they made up there. It's the same thing.
What?
It's the same thing. Evangelism isn't the same, and it's not better either. Here, everyone goes hand in hand. What happens in Venezuela, everyone goes hand in hand. And everyone is lending a hand. With one hand, they hold on to each other, and with the other, they give to collect. You also have to look at the other side, be careful. because everyone is there. Some evangelical communities take money, but people never see it. There are a lot of cunning people. There are a lot of pastors out there freely supporting the regime, and we've seen it. We've seen it in images too. This is a widespread problem, gentlemen. It's a general problem. They have corrupted the government, the judicial system, the educational system, the religious system, every level of society. They've corrupted them all. In the end, it's the poor, ordinary people who pay. The ones who pay are the people. But they have little left. They have little left. Seeing the military deployment we're witnessing, they have very little time left. In fact, I think they just turned on the radar. Let's watch it again. Let's give it a second. Let's relax a bit, folks. Because this is intense, when we talk about this topic, it's very intense. It's really, really intense. Well, right now live? Let's see, right now live. Radar active. At full power, at full strength. The Puerto Rico radar, right now at full power, pointing at Venezuela. However, no military flights, civil flights. The usual, these Maduro planes. With Biasa? The private planes. Just so you know, this will end too. Just so you know, this is going to end too. These charter planes leaving Venezuela, coming in here, over there. Donald Trump will eventually say it's over. He'll say they're transporting things, and that's it. Because yes, of course. If a charter flight arrives and goes to Colombia, Nicaragua, or elsewhere, they're transporting items by air. What's the point of doing a blockade? Look, this area here is like a black hole. Right now, there are military aircraft all over this area here. We can't see them. No, we don't see them, but they're there. They're there. And now they're showing themselves to us. I'm not a radical, Ramon. I prefer to stay balanced in my life. I won't tolerate what I won't tolerate. It's just no, right? Look, would it have been better to just send a brief message asking and pleading for a fair and peaceful solution to the current situation? Is this happening in Venezuela? Period. That's it. But this thing about getting involved, about them stealing natural resources and selling them, Nicolas Maduro's speech, you're taking the side of someone who doesn't exactly respect human rights. There's already a very, very strong interference. Very strong. And this isn't about them being, it's that they're obligated. It's that they are.
No.
Maduro doesn't dare to mess with the church. Can Maduro get involved? They already interfered with the previous nuncio, so the cardinal who was in Venezuela before, yes, they definitely messed with him. But they don't dare do anything to him because they know what could happen to them. Maduro needs the church at the moment when the church excommunicates him. Maduro leaves, he loses everything. I don't know, they could have handled this differently. I'm very sorry. I feel that today, maybe, we're being too harsh or too forceful with this topic. But it's just that this is a serious topic. They're whitewashing Nicolas Maduro. It just can't be, you know? Imagine the 8 million Venezuelans in exile along with those suffering. When they read this message from the church, when the church is supposed to be the one to save or help with salvation, and you say, well, even the church has abandoned us. When they see evangelical pastors whitewashing Nicolas Maduro, it's that we've been abandoned. Evangelism. Is it the same thing? I'm going to tell you something. Be careful, those of you who are evangelicals. Don't use this as an excuse to attack Catholics. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it wrong. That's not the message of Jesus. Don't get it wrong. What is being denounced here is that an organization that is a state, because it is a state, is defending Nicolas Maduro. Period. That's it. That's it. That's how it is. Let no one be mistaken about this. Don't take advantage of this. For everyone has their own faith and way of interpreting things. But what we can't do here is justify. As you said, the Episcopal Conference isn't the Vatican, so why are you speaking? What do you mean? It's obviously the Vatican. Well said, brother. Well put, Jesus isn't a shield for thieves. Nor swindlers. God bless you. Thank you very much. That's my opinion. If someone doesn't like it, I'm very sorry. I don't want to offend anyone. But I think this topic offends millions of people. Likewise, when the false evangelical prophet arrived, where Maduro's strategy denounced him, Pope Francisco was a communist, and well, Maduro said, I don't know if he was a communist. I didn't know him. What I do know is that he has photos with people who are despicable. In Argentina, we have Father Paco. Learn who he is and whom he worships. Happy New Year, Marcella. Thanks for the super chat, but I won't do live streams right now. To go after priests, well, we already have enough dealing with Nicolas Maduro to start going after these kinds of rebellious priests now. I don't know. Victor de la Cruz, thanks. Marcella, is this a joke? If we need to do the show, we will. Gabriel Estrategia, I'm Puerto Rican, and I've never seen any brutal force in Puerto Rico. Well, yes, it's just incredible what's there. Since the Cold War, nothing like this has been seen. Not even during the Cold War or the missile crisis was there anything like this. Jesus crack, I don't know, man, right? I think, honestly, that's enough for me. Being part of a denomination is different from covering up corrupt leaders. Exactly, David. You've hit the key point. You can be a believer. You can consider yourself Catholic, Protestant, evangelical, whatever you want, but you can't hide corruption. It's a sin. God bless your life and health. Strategy, you were a valuable virtual friend. Wishing you a happy 2026. Thanks so much, Viviana. Thank you for those wishes. Jose Aldo Peralta, thank you, Leica. Take care. Strategy, health, brother, thanks again. I'm not sure. What do you all think? It's also something significant when the church has to go out. When the church has to go out and whitewash Nicolas Maduro, it's because the situation is bad. I'm reading you all. I'm reading everything. When the church has to go out and whitewash Maduro, it's because things are bad.
¿Es porque la cosa está mal?
Maduro must have told the church leader, hey, you have to give us a hand with this because the business is ending, and the financial contributions we make, well, they won't continue if we leave power. And so, well, hey, we have to pay for a lot of candles. The church has expenses like buying many candles. Church. Oh my God, you know I like it. I have a very special sarcasm. Some people don't like it very much, but you have to be critical. You have to be critical, and it's unacceptable, and that's it too. No, that's not the point. The point is what's happening. Let's look at Sentinel. Let's look now at the satellite. Let's change. Let's relax a bit. Let's leave it now. Topic. Church. The Saturday sermon is over. We do it on Saturday. Tomorrow, Sunday, everyone goes to Mass or to the service or wherever you go. and to atone for sins. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's go now. As my mother used to say, who passed away a year ago? Today, it's been a year since my mother died. As my mother used to say, let's gossip already. It's about time. Come on, let's take a look around here. Let's see if we find something interesting. Let's change the subject. Let's look at the latest satellite images to see what's building up over there. This is MacDill, Tampa, Florida, United States. Image from the 23rd.
Yes.
We see the fog comes in right here, the 2 airborne warning and control system, and let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Too bad we have this cloud here. But I think there could be, well, 20, 21. Here you can see another shadow. There, 21. I think there could be 25 or more than 25. Tankers, huh? Tankers? MacDill?
Let's look for more. And with this one, we're going to have luck with state.
It's empty, huh? Image of day 25. Here it is. These could be 2 airborne warning and control system, huh? Those 2 white spots here could be 2 airborne warning and control system. We already have them. Also, I think the radar's black shadow could be it, right? Don't take this too seriously. It's complicated.
Calo.
Okay? We already have 4 airborne warning and control system. I think we're going to compare that image with the one from Tampa, since we know the ones in Tampa are E3 Sentry. Are we going back again? Yes, the stain looks very similar, right? It's just that you can see a black spot there. Well, this is the 15th. Yes, look. This is December 15th. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 26 tankers. Not one more, not one less. There will be 27 tankers. Family, we are live right now. We're just a little bit short of 375,000 family, 500 people. Let's subscribe. Come on, let's subscribe. Since we're already getting down to work here investigating this. 15,000 people. In this image from the 15th, there are 27 tankers. Let's look for Homestead again now. Let's see what's over there. Ugh. We lack superpowers. If it's cloudy, we see nothing. Day 20. Day 20. Day 25. Let's see. It seems that I think these 2 are 2 airborne warning and control system that are here. That's the impression I get, you know? And here there are 3 planes that we don't know what they are. They could be 30, or they could be some kind of tanker. But something stands out about this base, which is closer to the Caribbean Sea. It's not occupied right now. That means that at some point it will be occupied. That is at times on a rotating basis. Planes are going to arrive at that base, and I keep insisting F-15SF, B-52S, they can come in there, you know? Are they being given space? Well, let's continue, okay?
Let's go now. Dominican Republic. Let's check the base. It also has the location. I think it's this one, but let's check. Let's check.
And let's see what we can find around here. That recent image.
Day 25, this...
Yes, it is. This is San Isidro. It's really hard to see here. But we're going to try, okay? First, we should see it. From here to learn about the areas of... Wait a second, is this going crazy? Okay, there we are.
Okay, if you have planes... I'm looking for which area they could be in, huh?
Let's see where they might have them. Okay, it could be better in this area here or this area here. Is there another area? Based on this image we're looking at, let's look at Sentinel now. It's very low quality, huh? The quality is very, very, very low. We can't see it, of course. We can't see it, but we have seen photos of 10 tankers in Puerto Rico. So, well, that puts us at ease. Let's go now. To Puerto Rico? The San Juan area? Because here there really is an area. This area right here. This is the one we're interested in. Okay. We're interested in that area. 100%. Okay, let's go. Hey, if we can get more information.
Yum. This is taking a while, huh?
It's not that easy. Look, here there really is a buildup of planes. There could be airborne warning and control system there. It's this right here. Here are two tankers. Right here, on that side, you can see the dark spot. There could also be the detachment plane. Yes, there are planes, right? There are planes here. There are drones here, too. I think this is the one being used for the Reapers. I think it's this one. Let's go see Kaba. Let's go check out Saba. This has to be a festival. What's going on in Saba? Image from the 24th.
Cuatro.
Oh my God, look at what's going on there. Look at all this shadow here in this area, which you can't really see well right now. You're going to see it now? Let's see if the image loads. It's going slow, huh? Sorry, I can't do anything else. It's out of my hands. Beyond my ability. Wow, look at all those planes. All lined up together, huh? That's incredible. We also have planes over here. You can see it there. We can clearly see how they're opening up more land in this area, clearing it. This area. If we compare that image, let's make a comparison. Year 2024, same date.
Let's see the differences.
Huh? It has to be abysmal. There were clouds that day? It has nothing to do with it. It was really neglected. Saba was really neglected. See, here you can't see the shadow of any plane. You can't see anything. And now, in 2025,
Go.
let's look for it in December 2025. Look, they haven't cleaned this whole area here. They've cleaned all the edges of the tracks. They've fixed all of this. Much infrastructure is being built here. There's a buildup here, mostly fighter jets, right? This is the famous photo we see of the F-35 say. Altogether here, I think it's this area. Our plane spotter could probably shed a little more light on this story for us.
Yeah.
This must be a C-17 on the runway. Look there, right? When the satellite takes the image. And then we should study something, right? We should study an interesting detail, which is Saba's simultaneous takeoff capability. Because it obviously has a runway here, which I don't know if they're using. Let's go to satellite. Let's look for Saba here in this runway. They've fixed all of this. I mean, they've repaired all of this. We have it. We have it. Officially, this is the taxiway area, a runway. Another second runway here, usable if needed, though I think it's used for storage. And then we have this one. You can use this one for vertical takeoffs or planes that need a short runway. You can use it. The question is, have they adapted it? I mean, have they restored this runway here? I think not. Yes and no, since there are things on the runway. Let's take a look. Let's view old images like this from November. Because, of course, those spots we see there. Sorry that I'm here. We're live, folks. We're live right now, investigating what has been done for Saba. Back in October, this was really bad, but today, huh? Here we are. Sorry, this is going really badly. Of course, this is October. And that track we're seeing there, this part I'm looking at here is in very bad condition. It's in really, really bad condition. Did they go to fix it? Wait, it was there? Let's look at it. October 10th or 13th, 2025. Let's go to December. I think it's being worked on, huh? He's working on that track, but is there any infrastructure installed at this site? I'll ask HR Plane Spotter to clarify this for me, but anyway, officially we have one operational runway 100.
Yep.
And many planes, many planes. There are a lot of planes here. And this area here, I think they're also preparing it to bring in more planes. Because that area over there is this area here. If the United States can technically pave all this area here and turn it into a mega hub for airplanes. Well, because it has a limited capacity. 100 has a limited capacity. I think it's going to be expanded, huh? This area here is going to be expanded. Looking at the images we're seeing here, satellite images, look. It might be possible. There are still weeks of preparation left, right? We're looking at Puerto Rico, Saba. The tankers are at Las Americas Airport in the Dominican Republic. Let's check it out. Las Americas, let's check it out. Friends, this is the community's 100th collaboration. Let's see. Let's also check in this other place. We're leaving here. We're leaving Saba.
This is terrible today, huh? I guess so. Let's see.
It's an airport that's touristy. It's very touristy. I guess they might have used this area around here, possibly. Or this area around here. Day 25.
Cinco.
Let's check for day 25 footage.
Cinco.
It's the 27th, but let's check for footage from day 25.
Cinco.
Available. He's thinking, huh? We're live right now, family.
Oh.
Looking for the United States planes? Where are they? Where are they hiding? If they're hiding at all, which I doubt, they're just there and honestly don't care if anyone sees them. All right, let's go. To Las Americas Airport. Let's go to the area we're interested in, right where it's loading now on the satellite image. It's not clear, huh? It's not clear. They could be there. It could be that at the moment of the image, the photo isn't being taken or they're flying. It's complicated, but it's true. There are images that have shown there was a significant presence of planes. Very significant, also very significant. Situation right now, radars. The one in Nicaragua is connected 24 hours. The one in Cuba is turned off. Today, Cuba is resting. Well, that's what I think, huh? There's still a little bit more left. But we're close. We're close, family. We're close. We probably won't see as many shows of strength as we did before, or maybe we'll see one more. Maybe we'll see strength displayed. Before the flood? Possibly. Let's see. Super chat, things we have here, just strategies. Thanks for keeping the torch burning. Soon, Nicaragua will be free after Venezuela. Hopefully, Javier. Thank you very much. Magdalena, thank you. Ruben Reyes. Jesus isn't the Pope, the Vatican, or the corrupt Venezuelan bishops. Is that your own opinion? Jesus crack. Thank you very much. Thanks to Victoria for those memberships, Andrea Villar for those memberships, and Coco for those memberships. Thank you, Daniela. I agree, though there's always more to it. So, does this letter mean the prisoners are being released? I don't think the letter relates to the prisoners. It's just an attempt to whitewash things. And I think that's what it is. TAM. No, or are they trying to whitewash Nicolas Maduro's dictatorship a little bit with that? Whatever it takes, at any cost. Also, there's another place we haven't looked at, right? There's another place we haven't looked at. We have to check it. Let's see if the satellite image loads. Since we were already doing a full inspection. Let's try to make it. Let's see. San Croix Island. What do we have over there? We must have something over there. Also, there are clouds. We have clouds? We have clouds. You can't see. Oh, you can't see, but just barely, huh? Just barely. But what is clear is that what's happening at MacDill isn't normal. 27 tankers. It's impossible. 27 tankers, and each tanker can refuel about 6 planes in the same amount of time. Imagine, no. We combined the 26 tankers from MacDill with the 10 from the Dominican Republic. We already have 36.
Says.
That's a huge amount. 648 aircraft. 648 aircraft. It's a huge amount. Sorry, no, sorry. $216. It's incredible, huh? 216 aircraft are airborne simultaneously, plus all arrivals on the aircraft carrier. It's a mega operation, huh? It's a mega operation. Where could the fleet be? Good question. We'll know in a couple of days with the next update. People are going to go crazy trying to find out where they are. Right now.
Lo sé.
The ships of the United States Navy. And it will come out. It will come out. At some point, it will come out. I think the role of Trinidad and Tobago is important.
Te-
But I think they're going to take the Hortula. First step, Hortula. More. A cruise missile attack on some infrastructure. But having the Hortula is key. It's very key in this. It's crucial. Let's consider Trinidad and Tobago. What we have over there. Let's see if it loads. We're trying to look for Trinidad and Tobago. Let's see what's there. But countless things can happen. Countless things can occur. I think it's going to happen, huh? I think it's going to happen. By the way, I don't want you to use the channel. I've said this many times to attack people for their religion. I don't want you to do that. I don't like it. I've told the moderators that once that happens, the person will be permanently hidden. We have people of all creeds. I ask for respect for everyone. And this isn't about what each person wants. It's a much deeper issue. No, you can't see all of Trinidad and Tobago. We can't see it. But I think that's what we just said. 216 planes refueled in flight simultaneously. It's already an impressive attack. It's already a very, very impressive attack, so let's see what happens. Family, thank you for joining us live. We're stepping away for now, but we'll return if anything happens tonight. With the drum of war, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. A hug to you all, family. See you in the next show here on Military Strategies. As always, it's been a real pleasure.